Hello everybody, welcome to our quick look of Stellaris. This was the patron choice for the quick look this week was a tie between this and a game called Outcast, and we ultimately decided to go with this one because we're more familiar with it. So this
By
is...
which we mean Josh is more familiar with it, and the rest of us
well, nobody's
we're
familiar
absolutely...
with Outcast, so... So this is Paradox's foray into doing a 4X space game in the long and storied template of games like Master of Orion. It does some interesting stuff, and in other ways I think it kind of doesn't do as well as other 4X games. We can kind of get into that a little bit.
That's kind of a controversial opinion to begin a quick look with, considering this is generally a game that's voted. Do you think it was voted because it would be interesting to talk about, or because people generally have a fond disposition towards the game?
Well, a number of people who are actually in the $15 patron bracket that get to suggest games for quick looks are people who are right now, like, we're running a weekly Stellaris multiplayer campaign, so I suspect that might have played a little bit into it.
Aha. Well, I look forward to seeing firsthand that the reason you don't like the game very much is that you thoroughly suck at it.
Okay. I don't dislike the game. I think it's cool for what it is, but there's some like weird stuff that kind of like it doesn't behave in a way that's exactly the same as like games straight from the Master of Orion template. There's a lot of like Europa Universalis in this game. Paradox is like Renaissance, Enlightenment era Europe, big war game.
You should get the game started here.
Yeah, so we can make our empire here, as you usually can in games like this. And you got a bunch of different portraits.
Oh man, you can play a fungus people? This game is pretty high in stars.
Wait, you can play a fungus living on a mammal.
Yeah, this game's got a lot of butt faces.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm in.
Calipigians.
This is where the game begins and ends
let's
with
make
me.
the Mushroom Kingdom.
We are the Calipigians. Yeah, pick a good butt mushroom, and we'll get started here.
I like the potato guy.
It's kind of a
I know, yeah.
Potato guy.
Oh, this guy?
Yes, yeah.
All right. So we can put in the name, the plural, and the adjective. So with like
That's
humans, it would be
interesting.
human, humans, and human. And it gives us just like the ability to do random stuff here. Do we have a name in particular?
Yeah, we gotta come up with something. No, we have to give it like the essence of like an alien species, like Patarian, or like
Patarians. The
Tautarians. Tater
the Spudulons.
Totarian.
Spudulons.
That's pretty good.
Like
Spudulon, and the plural, I guess, would of course just be Spudulons.
How about
Spudulonian? Oh my god.
It's the adjective. Spudulonian culture. Spudulonian culture is very important. We tend to we view ourselves very much as being the sum of many parts. Sort of imagine that all of the parts of our culture were kind of cut into thin pieces and then mixed together and sort of held together with the oil of compassion.
So we've got a bunch of different name lists here to choose from for like character names, ship names, fleet names, and planet names that it'll generate. And you've got like stuff for like hive minds, autonomous drone, combat swarm, funguses, glorp, smeggle, bumper, gigas, glup.
I like that.
Alright, ship prefix should be SPUD. And we can pick some traits.
Very good at
Rapid
Some of
telling
which are
time.
very good.
Yeah, time telling.
Yep. Extremely good eyesight.
Because potatoes have all
Neither of those
eyes.
really translate into. You got like physiological traits like very strong or weak, repugnant, deviance.
Repugnant, yes. Repugnant deviance.
But
I think that's only
enduring.
fair.
So that's given us like some trait points that we can put into like positive traits if we want to. Like intelligent is really
breeders.
good.
Agrarian, I
rapid
think that
breeders
goes
for
without
sure.
saying.
Rapid breeders. Okay, we got 1 point left and 1 pick left.
Traditional.
There you
that one's
go.
okay.
Very conservative.
So
the Spud
so
people.
we're repugnant deviants who are agrarian, rapid breeders, and traditional. We can also choose what kind of world we want to be from. You've got 3 different kind of paradigms here: dry, wet, and frozen. Dry is like desert, arid, savanna. Wet is ocean, continental, tropical, and frozen is Arctic, alpine, and tundra.
Can we be tropical
And-
potatoes?
Oof,
Sure, yeah.
Them.
And there's really no like all this really does is change our habitability for like various planets that we find. So like if we're good on tropical worlds and we find like a continental world, then we'll probably be able to colonize that pretty well. But if we like wanted to colonize an Arctic world, well, that probably wouldn't work out.
I just realized
name
that
our
if you built a
home
game
world.
that was just 400 screens of this, like with this level of graphic and like variability, I'd be recommending it right up until I hit the final next screen. It's like, thanks.
So there's also some default solar systems, so we can start in the solar system or in the Deneb system, which was like specific to one of the
Fair
pre-built picks for species, which is like humans that have been carted off to some alien system by some alien precursors who aren't around anymore.
Right, which would be a
I think we should just do
diaspora.
random. Yeah. Thing. Homeworld name.
Large fries.
No,
Oh my
let's go
God.
with Idahova.
And the star name.
That sounds like that should be our god. That should be our homeworld.
Orida.
Orida. Yes. Okay. Orida is better.
I feel like maybe we should be getting some kind of kickback here.
Yeah, you know what? You contact Orida and say, hey, we named a lecherous race of potato freaks after your products for an audience of...
Uh-oh.
This is always a
They
good
got
sign.
to it.
The Spud people conspiracy got to him.
This
He comes back,
This only
he's
really
like, "Hello,
changes
humans."
This only changes the graphics in the background here. Let's do arthropoid. Actually, fungoid cities are fun. Let's do that. Is Rutskarn gonna come back? I think he's
So
dead.
what is this system?
So now we get to choose the... Hi, Rutskarn. I understand they got to you.
Did the awesome Orida pervert line get through? That's all I
No.
need to know.
Yes. No.
God damn it.
They did not get through. They censored you.
All right, fair enough.
So now what we did while you were gone was we picked our city graphics for the background. No, it doesn't do anything aside from aesthetics there. Now we can choose our ethics, are kind of government, and civics, which are little bonuses that go with the government. And certain civics are locked because we don't have certain and behind like certain ethics, or you can't be this ethic to have this civic, and so on. So the ethics are, there's sort of 8 different lines, and you got spiritualist, militarist, xenophobe, egalitarian, materialist, pacifist, xenophile, and authoritarian. And you'll notice these are opposite each other, so you cannot be authoritarian and egalitarian. They cancel each other out.
Makes sense.
And then in the middle here,
despite what
there's
some
also,
people on the internet with weird avatars would tell you.
Yeah, there's also Gestalt consciousness, so this is a hive mind. And that just like disables all like civics and stuff, and like I've never played as this.
This seems appropriate for given the context.
Yeah, I think we should go with that one.
All right. Oh wait, no,
disables the
we do have civics, but they're specific to this kind of thing, so we can be.
Our species is big on
ascetic.
cloning.
We could be a devouring swarm. Cannot engage in
Yes.
diplomacy with other empires. Has the hunger casus belli on all other empires.
That's
Xenopop
okay.
will always be eaten and have no effect on tradition cost.
I'm not
Gain
necessarily
society
going to say
research
that
from
we should
eating xenopops.
do that, but I do want to comment that I like games like this where you have a lot of options that very much define unique experiences, and the fact that they felt confident enough to put in an option that just like completely removes the diplomacy content of the game entirely and just makes you like the Zerg. I actually think that's really neat.
We maybe shouldn't do that. Just for the quick look here, like unless we really want to go into just like eat everyone. That might be
No,
interesting
I
to do
agree.
on a stream or
Let's leave
something.
diplomacy open.
I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. We could probably still do diplomacy as a Gestalt consciousness and everything. So should I just grab some here that look good?
Yeah, just go for it.
We get 2 points, so I'd say more unity is probably good, and more influence, I'd say, is also good. Let's do those. We can choose our advisor sound. Really matter to that. And then we get to choose our empire name.
This is a solemn undertaking.
And we can
Can we
can
call it
actually
a-
like hit. We can hit random, and it'll like mash together our government type and,
Oh,
and
well,
stuff.
that gives
and
me,
our
yeah.
name and stuff. Spudulon consciousness, Spudulon entity, Spudulon hive, Spudulon collective. It's kind of there's not a whole lot for this.
The Spudulon Tuberblick.
Tuberblick.
Yeah. Yeah. No, okay.
All right.
It's just like Republic.
Oh, okay, I see. Because we're a republic of hive-minded stuff. And then we've got, we can design our emblem. And the primary color that you select defines the color of your empire, so that's kind of important. And that'll be like the color of the borders and your ship colors and stuff. The secondary color doesn't really matter.
Okay.
We get to...
I like that they have a pointy category.
Can I just
Let's
say
find
that,
a very
like,
potato-looking thing here.
I wish there were more games that were just like a lot of people really just dig character creators. I like things like this that aren't really character creators, but they let you make choices about how you would play. And okay, that one looks like a pill. We'll go with it. Our
What
color should
color
be
are
brown.
All right, there we go.
Yes.
And then we get to choose our ship style.
Okay.
Which
Oh my
doesn't
god.
really matter.
Can I be totally frank and say that the reason as a child I bought Galactic Civilizations 2 was for the ship creator?
Yeah, there's not... Like, there is a ship creator in this game, but there's not a whole lot of, like, flexibility for what your ships look like beyond, like, choosing this here.
That stinks.
Should we
I
go
don't-
with fungoid ships, because we're a fungus?
Yeah.
And then we've got our ruler name.
Let's go. Okay, there we go. Yeah. You know
Spud
what?
chicken.
I ain't even mad.
And we can change the room behind them.
See, this is neat. This is neat.
I like the skulls.
Yeah, that sets
Oh,
the
the
tone
skulls
for
are
any visiting
important.
dignitary.
It's environmental storytelling.
What? Oh, are we not allowed to have traits? Oh, deviance is incompatible with hive-minded.
Oh, interesting.
You can't be a deviant
so we
hive
need to pick
mind.
Apparently not.
I mean,
we need
okay,
to
yes,
pick
deviant
a,
is an
we're-
intrinsically like relative qualification, but I just sort of assumed
mean-
that we were deviant by galactic standards.
Like,
We're,
tell that to the board.
We're pretty sedentary. as potatoes, I'd say. All right, and that's it. So I'm going to save this horrible hive mind we've created, and let me reset everything to the default here. I think that's everything.
There's a non-zero chance I'm gonna pick this up on a sale and get like 20 minutes into the actual gameplay.
That was a game for me, right there.
I know, right?
The game's over now. Make a
Soon we
new
had
one.
grown to encompass the entire world.
Can you do the thing that you do in the Galactic Civilizations 2, where you create a bunch of empires and then you just like you seed your game with them so that you're like playing against the empires you created?
Yes.
Awesome.
In fact, I did that recently. So this is our interface here. We've got research, which is important, and this research kind of works on a like Master of Orion 1 sort of style, where like you get a randomized list of techs. You can't like specifically go for a particular like research thing. It has to show up in the queue. And this changes every time you research something. So it's not like a tech tree like you get in like a endless space or something. Let's research physics labs. Those are important.
Rog
I
is
love
my
these
favorite.
names.
Okay,
I'm gonna marry Rog.
hear me out here. Could you
This is
have,
good.
in theory, gone through and written all of the randomly generated names for your species?
You can make custom name lists, but like it's a mod thing. But I think it's just a text file. So yeah, you
Well,
could.
I was
if
gonna
you-
say,
you were
yeah.
really dedicated to doing that. Yes.
Okay, this game's my next LP.
So
Oh,
we've
God.
got construction ships. We've got a military fleet. We've got the shipyard station.
Argle Durgle!
Yeah. And that's our science ship, and these are kind of the most unique thing that Stellaris does. Is so you in other 4X space games, you usually send like military fleets out, like I'll send a Corvette out to these places and explore them. In this game, you have to send science ships. So we're gonna send this
Right,
science
because if you
ship.
send like if you send a bunch of jarheads to go like explore an island, they're just gonna come back be like, "This is weird crabs." Oh, all right. What kind of crabs were they? I don't know, but they tasted really bad.
So one question I have,
So-
having we're still playing Crusader Kings, and that kind of presets a world full of dukes and princes and kings and empires. Is this more like Civilization, where everyone starts off with 1 star and you all grow together, or is it more like those other
it
civilizations
is more
exist,
like
we just haven't
that,
found them?
where you have a bunch of like new empires that all show up. But the game also has a feature, and this is the whole galaxy map here, and you can see all the hyperspace lanes. There are also what are called fallen empires, and those are like empires that have been around a really long time. They have super technology, but for whatever reason, their dominance over the galaxy waned, and they've become like isolationists over a few systems. But if you piss them off, they will completely wreck your shit until you get to the end game, where you actually start to catch up to them technologically. And they can also become awakened empires and actually become active in the politics of the galaxy again. And then, like, you know, if you're not prepared for them, that's bad. And we're also going to have our construction ship, so we can go in here and grab our construction ship here and tell them to, like, oh, go build a mining station here, but it's easier to pop out to this view, right-click on the system, click Build Mining Stations, hold Shift, and oh, actually we don't have enough resources to build the research stations, but it's so the game tends to get big, and you tend to play a lot of the game from the Galaxy screen. You don't tend to zoom into systems very often. So we're gonna go ahead and hit Start here. And you've got your Crusader Kings style, like there's no turns. This is real time with pause. So
that's
I'm
very
just going to kick the
interesting.
speed up to fastest for our science ship to show up here.
I mean, the sort of the premise of everybody starting out at like the same level of galactic expansion is kind of problematic from like a Fermi perspective of like why are all these alien civilizations at the same technological level at the same time?
Yeah.
But I guess otherwise, I guess 4X players aren't really interested in hugely asymmetrical games.
So our science ship is rolling around and surveying stuff here. And you can see like it surveyed this thing and it's got like 2 minerals on it. So if we go and claim this system and then we build a station, we'll collect minerals from it. And that'll increase the minerals that we get. And I believe this is per month, in-game month. So you can see it's 2,200 October.
Okay.
What's the Lego?
We've got energy credits, minerals, food, influence, and unity. Energy credits and minerals are used for like upkeep and building stuff.
It's a battery.
Food is used for growing population, and your population eats it. Influence allows you to claim systems, and unity is sort of a secondary tech tree that you use to like sort of like grab these things, specialize your empire, and like, oh, we want to be synchronistic. We want to be this. So
Synchronicity?
you know, we can get stuff that gives various boons, and the cost increases with each one that you get. It's a bit like the Europa Universalis 4's ideas system. But since none of you have played that game, that doesn't really mean anything.
System survey.
Once again, you
so
are
they
a
surveyed this
translator.
system. So let's go survey this system, which I believe is a black hole.
Is it the same map every
Also,
time? Is it the same map every time? Like, do you think that's a black
No,
hole because
this
it's
is
black, or do
randomly
you think it's-
generated.
Okay.
I think it's a black hole because it looks like a black hole. Yeah.
Oh, it just physically... You could just physically look over there and say, yeah, it's a black hole. I guess that makes sense. Like, astronomically speaking.
This one
It's a
actually
black
has
hole with 4 gears.
planet orbiting it, which is rare. And this is kind of how the thing goes. We're just gonna queue up some survey orders for this guy, kind of do a ring around our initial system here. I also like,
So
I want to point out that the captain of the Urgle Durgle is named Loomper.
I love it. They're better at
he is
naming their
careful.
characters than we are. So one thing I
So
found
we've
interesting while we're waiting for this is... sorry, Josh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Well,
make
I
another
was
science
just going to
ship.
say that Europa
this
Universalis
last name?
always looks like it's this ridiculously impenetrable, super complicated, intimidating game that goes on forever. And you would think it would be the more approachable game because it's based on actual history, whereas this is all high-concept sci-fi stuff. But I feel like the abstraction of the sci-fi stuff actually makes this more immediately approachable because Europa
I'd
Universalis...
say so. Plus,
Yeah.
it's drawing from that like template of like, oh, we know what a 4X space game is.
Right.
So this should be familiar to you guys from Crusader Kings 2. We got events in this game. In this particular case, we uncovered that one of the planets here supports some sort of primitive alien life. So we may not be alone out here. Society research gained 60. So that boosted our society research a bit.
All the life look like... In a strange twist of cosmic irony, all of the life on this planet resembles our favorite foodstuff, the small things with arms and legs that scream when we eat them.
So I guess this is what events look like when you get like news reports and stuff with hive minds, and it's all very just like, we have confirmed animal life on an alien world. Interesting.
Why? What's it normally look like?
Okay, here we go. Now this is the cool thing that this game does, which is that you get anomalies that pop up, and they can be different levels and have different failure risks because of their level versus the scientist's skill level. So there's significant amount of debris in orbit around the gas giant. So it appears to come from long-lost starships of various configurations. We can send this guy to research it, and that can have an outcome.
Complete.
No guts, no glory.
May add stuff to the planet, may give us some stuff. Yeah, see, so there's a bunch of space debris in this big gas giant's atmosphere, so it added some minerals to the... and there are like event chains that you can discover from anomalies and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
So right now, Loomper is pretty much citizen number 1 of Potato Land.
Lumper
Yeah,
is
he's
such a
pretty
good
important.
name. He
Lumper
deserves
and his
everything.
So we
assistant.
got a science ship here. that we
His
built.
assistants,
I vote we make him
Dwarf and Jorsum Gordablordum.
Do we like the name Blarp?
I like Odd George.
Yes.
We do.
I
So
like all of these
Oddjort
names.
has expertise in researching particle stuff. That makes him better for a research scientist than a like science ship scientist.
He's also 13 years old, so at some point he's going to hack into the enemy's mainframe while turning his baseball cap backwards.
That's Shipperleg.
No, they're both Oddjort and Shipperleg are 13.
Oh, okay, yeah, they are. So do we want Blarp or Shipperleg?
Blarp.
I like Blarp's carefree attitude.
Plus, Shipleg is only
So we're gonna
13
assign
years
him to
old.
this ship.
We don't want child soldiers.
Does it even count if it's a hive mind? We're gonna send him
Well, that
circling this
gets-
way.
There's like how many Star Trek
System
episodes
survey
about that? At least 2.
Somewhere out in the galaxy currently, there's like a militaristic race looking through the scope saying, "Does it count if they're a hive mind?" Yeah, it counts. Just mark 1 on the ship as normal. Okay, cool.
So I think we're gonna go for discovery here first, because that makes anomalies more likely to pop up and reduces our failure chance with them. So that's
We
fun.
are nothing
Plus,
if not
that's,
a
like,
curious,
early game
thoughtful
stuff.
race of potato people.
Oh, we
That's
also
good
have enough
music.
to
I mean,
build a
it's
research
not
station here.
it's not great music, but it's very suitable for the purpose of staring at numbers for hours on end.
Yeah.
Anomaly found.
Oh, so we've got another anomaly here, and this is an anomaly level 3, but this guy's got a pretty decent chance of getting it because he's skill level 2 and he's got the trait that makes him less likely to fail.
Our boy Looper
So
wouldn't
let's,
let us down.
Research this. And this is a event chain here. We've found evidence on this planet here. Actually, this planet, this moon of that planet, I think. No, it is
Subterraneous.
this planet. Of a ancient precursor civilization.
Just think,
They-
a subterranean planet.
At some point, launched a crusade to destroy all sapient organic life in the galaxy for reasons unknown.
Situation.
Isn't
So that
this
launches
the
a big
plot of
event
Mass
chain that we've
Effect?
got. Kinda. That we've got up here. And this is where we get like missions to go and do stuff and discover stuff. And right now we don't have anything there because we haven't found any more of their artifacts. But as we kind of survey around here, we'll find more.
Construction complete.
Mash effect.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Mash effect.
Okay. So this was from researching that one that one place that Loomper was looking at. And we can It's a planet that is like constantly shifting, and we can spend 200 energy credits to
Terraform it.
attempt to stabilize the planet into a more favorable state for colonization. I think we should do that.
Yeah,
We
go
have a
for it.
50% chance of success. Let's also research this anomaly over here.
That uses almost all of our credits. Yep.
We
Can you imagine?
Oh, we failed.
Can you imagine if
No.
Earth spent its entire gross domestic product on attempting to settle a planet and it fucked up? And it's just like Bill Gates walking down the street like, hey, can I borrow a dime?
Oh, so this was Blarp failing that anomaly. So nothing came
We're
of
just
it.
failing left and right here.
System survey complete.
Yep.
Ooh. Precursor stuff here. And like we could slow down, but I do find the game tends to drag if you're not playing it at speed because there's a lot of just waiting for stuff to happen.
I mean, it's the same with Crusader Kings, right?
Yeah. Interesting. So we found some frozen remains of
Situation
aliens.
completed.
So now we've got a special project in this system that we can use to we can send a science ship over to research it.
Thaw
But
them out.
it requires
and enact
a scientist of level 5, which we don't have. So this guy's just going to have to keep going for now. So we also can build stuff on the surface of our planet in this grid system here. Look at our wonderful potatoes.
Oh,
And
such a
We have
diverse
industrial
cast of potato
wastelands.
people.
All colors, same shape and size.
So let's build some stuff here. Let's build a mining network on this mining tile. Let's build a power plant on that tile. And eventually we'll probably end
Potato
up replacing
people,
a lot of these with
remember.
more specialized buildings, but
You may be different colors, but in the inside, all of you taste delicious.
are we cannibals?
Well, we're potato people. I will say I'm slightly dismayed at the fact that some of our citizens are just ejecting spores,
survey complete.
like in just at random as their idle animation. It's just like, could we not have the scientists responsible for representing our species on the galactic scale just be jacking off on camera all the time?
I mean, we are repugnant. I believe we still
You know
have
what?
that,
You got a
right?
point.
Yeah, we are repugnant. So, I mean, it fits. We've got an anomaly here we can research.
Can you imagine if you make credit, if you're the one who makes contact with another alien species and you're super hyped and like you just go to their door and it's like unlocked? You're like, I thought the meeting was supposed to be now. You just come in and there's just a potato staring at a fertile soil bed, just like ejecting spores and making this ungodly keening noise.
Neat, we found a small scout craft that crashed into the planet and researched it and got some engineering research out of it.
Research complete.
Oh, and we just researched physics labs.
So,
Ooh,
you said
this
you were
is
playing a multiplayer version of this. Is that done synchronously?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you just hop in and basically we just set the speed to 2
Anomaly found.
and there's usually enough time to handle this kind of stuff. Archaeological work. Our archaeologist Spud Lumper here.
The Urgle Durgle is the proud face of our species.
Some sort of big art monument.
Oh, well, by all means get that
System
up. I mean, our
survey
species is well known for its excavations.
Research complete.
Oh, more ancient precursor stuff. We like
So,
Empires on our
How
space
long generally
rockets.
does it take to encounter another civilization?
It depends. They generally, like, I don't remember what I have it set to. I think by default it tries to have them generally spaced relatively equidistant apart from one another, but it's a little bit of random stuff there. Plus we're on a spiral galaxy, which is a little bit more random with placement of stuff, because you've got, like, you know, the way these hyperlanes line up.
I do find it
So,
interesting that they
we
elected
might-
not to go for just a giant grid shape, but they have actually chosen kind of an interesting layout based on an actual, like, classic galaxy shape.
Yeah, and you can play like ring galaxies or elliptical galaxies if you want to. Oh, interesting.
Situation log updated.
So there's a project here that we also can't do because it needs to be level 4. So we
So
could
how
run
do you
into one
level
that's like
your
really
engineers up?
nearby us, or it could take us a while to run into anyone. It depends.
How do we level our engineers up, Joshua?
We don't have engineers.
Scientists, whatever.
Oh, well, we just
Oh,
level
well,
them up by having them do research.
Yeah, like scientists gain experience by doing surveys, doing anomalies, and just doing like scientific research. Like these guys are all leveling up very slowly by just doing research.
Okay. So let's just get straight to it, Josh. Have we encountered anything that you would express as part of your reservations about this game yet?
Construction complete.
Not really, sort of. Okay, so this is all really neat, like this whole explore the galaxy, pick up stuff, and all that sort of thing, right? And I think this is a really cool, like shake up of the formula. It's a bit more Star Trek-y than most 4X games. Problem is that after a while, you explore all the systems you can get to, and everybody started to claim all the land or space or what have you, and then it just kind of becomes sit around and do, you know, just like research stuff and, you know, build ships and occasionally like and go to war. And really, like, there's not a whole lot in the game aside from conquering people. The diplomacy's pretty weak. You can win peacefully by forming a big federation. In fact, the current game that I'm playing is a federation game where I'm playing a pacifist empire. By building a federation that's like a big alliance of races, and then like controlling a certain number of planets under that. You got domination victory, win the game by owning 40% of all habitable planets. Conquest victory is conquer everybody else, and then federation victory is own 60% of habitable planets by you and all the people in your federation. But that's it. So like, there's not a whole lot of like interesting sort of like by the mid game, everything just kind of gets very samey, and you're pretty much locked into like sit around and build things or go to war and conquer things. And I feel like that's a lot weaker than a lot of other 4X games, which tend to have like better diplomacy, more interesting options and stuff. Now, some of the DLC they've released has kind of fixed it, because I played this game when it came out, and that was like a year and a half ago, I think.
Right.
And I played into the mid game, got bored, and then just didn't touch it again until like not too long ago. And I picked up some of the DLC for it on sale, and it feels quite a bit better now. Some of the DLC like adds some like interesting mid to end game kind of exploration and event chain stuff. Diplomacy feels a little bit better. They've balanced a lot of things that were kind of broken and weird initially, but it's still got this kind of problem where the mid game is sort of like, no matter what you're doing as your empire, it all just kind of feels the same. You're not going and getting like interesting exploration stuff anymore because there's nothing left to explore, and you're just kind of sitting around waiting for bars to fill up and tech to research.
Yeah, one thing I do notice is that you're not actually spending much time with any of your individual like planets or settlements. There aren't really any fires to put out, and I feel like that's actually a large part of games like Civilization.
Yeah, we should probably start expanding here. In fact, let's build a column so I can show you how
System
that works.
survey complete.
How does the combat work?
It's very simple. So you see this fleet here, it's got a particular strength associated with it. That's this number, military power. And that's basically how powerful the fleet is. And there's some stuff you can do to tweak it. So like a weaker fleet can take on a stronger fleet if you're specifically spec'd for it. So like we can take a look at the ship designer here. The Glabeldor class Corvette. So you've got armor and shields and hull. So on these kind of basically work the same, except shields regen, armor does not, hull does not, and the more hull damage the ship takes, the weaker it gets. But you've got these different weapons types which have bonuses versus shields or armor or sometimes hull. So like you can see that mass drivers
Red laser!
and physical
Pew, pew!
weapons tend to do more damage to shields but less damage to armor, and vice versa with lasers, and you get more advanced weapons and stuff as you go on. So you can kind of like build fleets that like maybe your opponent uses mostly shields, so you build a fleet that's just like all mass drivers, and you can beat them with a fleet that is weaker. But generally it's a lot about like mashing numbers together, and there's no control. Like you have no real control aside from like telling your fleet to retreat once the fleet gets into a battle. Like you don't get to like order individual units around. You just like take this unit and imagine another unit like that, and they go over here, and then they start fighting, and you get the results after a little while. And it looks nice, but there's not a whole lot to that.
So at the end of the day, it comes down to doom stacking.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
let's just...
I mean,
I guess we'll just keep a couple of military ships on hand in case we need to have... In case somebody, like, gets a little froggy around our territory.
yeah,
Just, like,
the military, like, they're not terribly important right now.
Has that phrase actually entered the popular lexicon because of that skit?
I'm doing my level best, Chris.
I mean, I'd love to see it happen. I've only heard it in that sketch and then from you just now. So
Situation
I just don't know if I'm wildly out of touch with the youth or whatever.
As far as I know, Key and Peele have affected no lasting changes on our vocabulary.
I mean, good. Some alien mining drones. So we've
To
met
this
these aliens.
day,
We don't know who
if
they
you were
are.
to use put the pussy on the chain wax in an academic context, I think you'd get blank stares.
You'd be surprised.
We've met these aliens in this system. We don't know who they are, but they are hostile. We know that. So we did a special project here to investigate them. And while we're doing that, our society guys are not actually doing their research. They're doing research for this special project instead. Some special projects do that. Let's build all the stations.
Construction complete.
And now we have a colony ship. That
call
looks
them
very
sacks?
Spud-like. We're gonna send it to this place. And
That
we're
does
gonna
look very
colonize this
appropriate, doesn't it?
planet.
Bristling with russet lasers.
Which of these magnificent names do we want to give our colony? Schlemming.
All those
Ruffles.
were perfect. Yeah.
So we're running a deficit in energy credits right now because colony ships cost a lot to maintain, especially early on. But that's not too big a deal. Uh-oh.
That's fine. Just put more
Oh, we
batteries.
found another hostile fleet here. What are these?
What? Okay, that's pretty
Space
baller. A
Amoebas.
fleet came across us and just started shooting at us, like instantly.
Well, these are spaceborne entities that blew up our science ship. Fortunately, our science ship managed to magically escape. So they're not dead, they're just missing in action.
Oh, so this also isn't a civilization
October.
we can bargain with. They're just space jagoffs.
Yep. Also research this.
Research complete.
Malicious orbiting beings, or
Automatic
mobs. Open fire.
exploration would be good, as would colony developments. So we actually have to research the ability to send our guys to automatically explore stuff, to auto-scout.
Special project complete.
The first Spudulon colony.
God damn, I am proud to plant on this on this noble soil. Our civilization will take root here.
So these ancient mining drones were set up by some civilization millennia ago and then abandoned. Should we establish a listening post to learn more about how they work, or begin an event chain to go kill them all?
Establish a listening post.
Let's send
Seems
you
like
this
the-
way.
Oh, all right then.
Oh, we did. It's.
Oh, okay.
We just have to wait a little while for the next event to pop up with that. Hivemind Spudskarn has leveled up.
Excellent.
Oh, you're immortal, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna test that theory.
I think you're kind of a representation of the hive mind itself rather than any individual spud.
I would like to be a hive mind.
If we
It's
were
the immortal
not,
nexus of the vast cognitive apparatus that constitutes a hive mind, and its name is Spudskarn.
so if we were not a hive mind, would that leader be immortal, or would we regularly see that change?
No, we would see that change. Like the various other government types, like have different succession laws. So like a democratically elected government has an election every 10 years. An oligarchy has one every 20, and then there is dictatorship where you get to choose the successor after the guy dies, and an empire where the successor is appointed upon like it's just a randomly chosen person. So our science ship is back. Let's send them this way.
This music's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's
You know,
pretty
it
good.
grows on one.
It
It gets
beats the
a
weird
little
Viking.
old after listening to it for like 30 hours, but
Well, at that point, you just turn it off and put on Megadeth or something.
That's the band you're going
let's
with?
clear some of these.
I don't know. What would be an appropriate band to watch potatoes settle the galaxy to, Alex?
You know, Spud Rock.
Special project complete.
Space amoebas! Should we issue a special project for remote space amoeba study, or expect our fleets to make short work of the creature? Well, I will point out, our fleets are nowhere near powerful enough to deal with these guys right now. Which is kind of annoying initially. Like, they had a strength of 532, our fleet of 3 corvettes has 107. So we'd need like 15 corvettes to go and take them on.
Well, we don't have that, so...
Let's study them.
Situation log updated.
Yeah, just take a look at them. Make a few notes as they're ripping us apart.
System survey complete. Situation log updated.
Oh, This is an interesting chain. So, before we developed faster than light travel, we launched some like sublight probes to go explore the galaxy. Now we're worried that hey, maybe other empires will find them, and we foolishly attach some information that we'd rather them not know about them. So
Get the
let's go
disc
hunt 'em
back.
down.
It's got our nudes on it. They cannot see what we look like potato naked.
Our potato nudes. So
Shameful and
okay,
disgusting.
Cool. So we're gonna get to that one soon.
Anomaly found.
It also included a sampling of our national anthem, which they could spoof to impersonate us. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Potatoes.
I'm surprised it took us this long to make that joke.
I'm just holding out for pillowy mounds of mashed potatoes. Well, I was, but I just kind of blew it there, so.
Doesn't seem like we're gonna encounter another empire for the duration of this quick look, but which does.
Well, that's
kinda suck.
unfortunate.
System survey complete.
Maybe the galaxy's empty. Who knows? You can actually play the game as the only empire around, I think.
Well, it sounds somewhat dull.
Situation log updated.
Also, it's a little too
neat.
close to
So-
home, if you know what I mean.
Oh, hang on. Oh, no. We did encounter some peaceful aliens, but they're not actually a civilization. These are just big space whales.
Do they grant magic
Those are
powers?
cool, though.
No, they do not give us magic powers. Although spiritualist empires do tend to want to leave them alone. Let's expand to this system. So to expand to a system, we use influence and minerals to build a starbase outpost. Neat.
System survey complete.
So by studying the space amoebas, we got a bonus for our empire that just gives us plus 5% energy credits forever.
System survey complete.
Yay!
Which is actually pretty good.
Thanks, amoebas. The Potato Empire thanks you for your contributions to an exceptionally creepy society.
So we found one of the probes, which is this thing. We're gonna go recover it now. I don't really know how a sublight probe made it like many light years away from our system, but I mean, like it'll take like Voyager 2 like thousands of years to get even outside of like the Oort cloud.
You want to talk about badly named things in space?
Oh, hey, this is an alien vessel. Okay, hang on.
And yes, I know it's named after a person. I still don't like
So
that.
we are going to meet an alien race.
Greetings, Delta aliens. We are the proud potato people. As a token of goodwill, we offer you this tip on how to get
Jeez.
infinite energy. Simply place a single nail within your flesh, and then a copper rod. Connect them with alligator clips.
Special project complete.
Hey, we got a probe. And that automatically surveyed that thing. So let's go over here and see what's going on with this probe.
Special project complete.
Tianaki. The space whales.
Well, that's good. They will not attack unless provoked. We can safely put them in traveling zoo exhibits that will be called cruel by some, but still make us lots and lots of money. Actually, I think
And then-
SeaWorld is deservedly tanking.
And then someday that we'll have. Oh wait, you were making that joke. Never mind. I was going a different direction with it.
So the probe, one of our probes, got
found God.
Star Trek: The Motion Pictured and
Or we are God. Okay.
is asking
I knew
us
it was a
if we're
God
the
thing.
makers. Are we the makers? Changes hostility to hostile. Are we not the makers? Changes hostility to hostile.
Well, what's the other? What was the green thing under the yes we made you? There's one other modifier.
Oh, hotkey enter.
Oh, so it's just the default. Okay. Well,
That's the default. Now, what are you?
Situation log
You're
updated.
Doom. Great. Okay, bye. Let's go send our fleet to kill this fucking sapient probe that hates everything. There's probably some bad stuff happening there. Let's also hire an admiral for our fleet.
so how many
So
Star
we've got-
Treks can you make in this game?
Now, how many Star Treks? What
Yeah,
is
like,
the
which
unit
Star
of
Trek plots?
Trek?
Well, like we
There's-
just did Star Trek the motion picture. How many other Star Trek films can we do? I assume you can't do Generations.
I don't think there are any anomalies that are like Generations. As of yet, there is no Genesis device equivalent, so you can't do 2 or 3. I don't think you can time travel, so you can't do 4.
Can you meet God?
Maybe, actually.
Yes.
There are some endgame events that I haven't done yet, because I haven't gotten to the endgame in any of my campaigns. But I'm near the endgame, and there's some weird stuff happening involving, like, aliens beyond the psychic shroud of the universe, so that's neat. Let's get...
Sounds like a good time.
I mean, you can run into... I don't actually have the DLC for Machine Empires, but there is a DLC for Machine Empires, so that you can get a Borg situation. Oh, we've got pirates. That's great. Our fleet probably can't beat the pirate fleet, which is neat.
System
Can we lead the
survey
pirates to
complete.
the
Where are
sentient
the pirates?
probe?
No, but they are coming into our home system, and our starbase here is totally
Station
capable of
under
kicking their
attack.
ass. Unfortunately, it's outside of weapons range right now, so we'll have to wait for them to show up. The Spud Urgle has detected one of our missing sublight probes.
Situation log
How
Neat.
many did we send out? Why
4.
do we keep finding these? Uggledosh. That is a cool planet name.
Let's show what it looks like at normal speed for a space battle. So this is basically what this is. Like, here's the battle. They're fighting a mining station that doesn't have any weapons, so it's not doing anything. But you can see how, like, I could retreat if this were a mobile thing, but it's not. And that's about it. And you get, like, stats about
mining station
damage
lost.
and efficiency. This guy's gonna get in range.
Colony established.
Ah, our colony is established. Neat. Oh, they're leaving. That's great. Kill the probe.
Hostile fleet engaged.
And this is basically what combat looks like. Just got research. That's neat. Is it running away?
Spaceport under attack.
It's not actually running away. I mean, it's just neat animations.
It's kind of tragic, though, if you think about it, right? Like, we sent a probe out into deep space, and it gained sentience, and all it wanted ever was answers, and then it decided to go to war against
And
its creators,
Clag,
and then we
our
destroyed
admiral,
it.
became aggressive because of his experience with it.
It's kind of a poignant story.
I mean, it is the plot of Star Trek, so, like, it's the story of Star Trek.
Station is fighting these. Is that ever gonna... Did we... Oh. We never even got a communication thing with these guys. The
Oh my god.
Obrolov Combine Constitutional Dictatorship.
Slavic despots. Well, they seem nice.
Yep.
Spudulon spores
these
are
guys?
perfectly
Oh, they're
sized
right
for
over
some of
here.
the slimmer crevices in our minds, and I think about this.
Special project complete.
The Spudulon physique is clearly built for manual labor. What business do you have running an interstellar civilization?
So they're probably a target for war, but we do not have the. We need
You're not
to go
even
and
gonna
border them
recognize
and
that
then make
amazing voice
claims.
acting? You're just not even gonna recognize it?
It's kind of par for the course with Rutskarn.
Spudulon spores are perfectly sized for some of the sliver crevices in our minds. And I think on this.
I'm actually a little creeped out. That's kind of a... I don't want to picture that big-eyed monster saying those things with that voice.
I'm trying
It's
to figure out
scary.
how we even have space pirates now that I think about it.
And our
'Cause they're like
civilization,
dregs of society.
We have a custom where people talk about video games in a pretentious way while we have them dance for our amusement.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Make him stop.
So I think it's probably a good time to end this quick look before Rutskarn becomes some kind of alien potato monster.
That's probably fair.
Plus, we've been going for an hour or so.
The word quick
Load
is
mass
in
drivers
quotes.
for jacketed hollow potatoes.
All right, and that's been Stellaris.
Fire russet lasers.
Situation
It's neat at the
updated.
beginning. It gets kind of bogged down in the mid game. End game is kind of more interesting because like weird stuff happens and there's big like end game crises. But man, this game can drag when you get past like the initial like, hey, it's cool and we're exploring and finding new things.
I feel
Okay,
like that's
so-
any 4X game though. Like Civilization has the same problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically it's got kind of like a crunchy like exterior, but then once you get into sort of the middle parts, it gets a little bit soggy.
Yeah, it's like very badly done fries.
There it is.